Good morning, dear hearts. I am here for lesson 219. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. This is the next to the last lesson. It's a review lesson, but it's the next to the last lesson before we complete part 1 and go into part 2 of the workbook. So it's really significant, and look how far we've come. I'm back for this lesson because it's such an important lesson. And, we've had our little sing-song earworm throughout this review that I am not a body, I'm free, for I am still as God created me. Okay. But today's lesson is I am not a body. I am free. I'm not a body. This lesson is so important, and it probably has the most resistance and opposition to it because of everything that we think we know in this world. We are sure that we are bodies. How can we not be bodies? How can we not? If I look in the mirror, what do I see? I don't see spirit, even though I have a lesson that told me I am spirit. I've had a lesson that told me I'm the light of the world. But that's not what I see. And I've had so many questions, and if you go back to previous years of this lesson and you read the comments, the one actually from last year, which is on the playlist, one of the followers said, well, I agree with you mostly, Janet, but not with this lesson. I don't agree. We don't agree because it's so hard to imagine that God did not make the body. But God doesn't make anything. God only creates. And what God creates is created eternally, timelessly, changelessly. It is forever, whatever God creates. And the body is not. You can agree with me on that, even if you can't agree with the idea that you still think that God created the body. He did not. But we can all agree that bodies decompose, as it were, okay? There's twinges, there's aches, there's pains, there's illnesses. Sickness is a defense against the truth. What is the truth? The truth is I am not a body, and I cannot be sick. But as I get sick, when I am not well, then I will have a very great belief that I am indeed a body. I've picked out different lessons as I've done in the past. Some of these are the same as I've used in previous years. A few are different. Lesson 72, that holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation, told us to be without a body is to be in our natural state. Bodies are not natural. Bodies are not who we really are. It is a vessel. We have one. I'm not going to deny it. I got one. You got one. We all got one. All God's children got one. No, well, not really. God's children all are spirit. But those of us who identify as indeed we are God's children, well, we look around at the other children and we see other bodies. So we think that's what we are. But I am not a body. I am free. I am God's son, God's child. Be still my mind and think a moment upon this. This is in the review lesson for today, in case you wondered where I was. Think a moment upon this. Can we think just for a moment upon this idea that I am not a body? Can we go into a soft meditation, a quiet mind, a tranquil space, serenely, calmly, quietly, and just consider the possibility that this isn't what I am. This is not the whole identity. We've had so many lessons and we talk of the identity problem, the existential question, who am I? What am I? I am not a body. I am God's child. I am whole, holy, healthy, and healed. I am sinless, guiltless, perfect child of God. But I am not a body. In lesson 91, which was, I am the Holy Son of God himself, it spoke to us in the prayer that I cannot suffer and I cannot be in pain. Well, bodies are in pain often, and we look at bodies and bodies seem to indeed suffer. But that's not what I am. In lesson 36, that my holiness envelops everything I see. It tells us that sight is related to holiness and not to the ego, and therefore not a body. But holiness envelops everything I see. And it tells us holiness envelops the body, that body. Holiness envelops that pen, that chair. Well, why does holiness envelop this body if it's not of God? Because within the body, where my spirit seems to be, God is within me, God is in everything I see, God is in my mind. Within me, there is God. There is God. I don't have to go outside. It is a journey without distance. I go within, and within me, God envelops me and everything I see. God is in everything I see. I'm seeing through body eyes, but I can see through Christ's vision. And truthfully, only when I see through Christ's vision will I truly see. I am perceiving when I use the body eyes, but I have true perception when I use Christ's vision, because now I see you as you really are. I see the spirit within you. I see that you are the light of the world. I see that we are one, we are joined, because we both abide within the mind of God. That's what I see. So to go back to our lesson for today, that I am not a body, I am free. I am God's son, God's child. Be still, my mind, and think a moment upon this. And then return to earth without confusion to what my Father loves forever as his son. My Father loves the essence of who I am, because I am the essence of him. I am the essence of God, and because of that, I have every attribute of my Father. And how close is he to me? He is as close as my next breath, my next thought, my next heartbeat. That's how close we are to our Father, our celestial parent, with our celestial DNA. We are one with him. But I am not a body, because God is not a body. And I am free because God is free. And I am eternally and forever still as God created me. I will not change, because I was created changeless. We were created in that moment of the extension of the perfect mind of God. And there we are, and here we are. We are free. We are not bodies. We have so much more of us than we think. But I want to go to close this to lesson 136. And at the end of that lesson, there's a prayer that says, I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defense against the truth, but I am not a body, and my mind cannot attack, so I cannot be sick. And remember this lesson, that I am not a body, I am free, is essential for us to understand who we are. And it is essential for our progress in this course. We have to accept this idea, even though it's the hardest one probably to ever accept. Lots of resistance, lots of opposition. But if we can go to that still mind and think for a moment just on this. Perhaps, just for a little while today, that opposition will fall away. And you'll take in a deep breath and a sigh of relief to know you're not a body. You're free. And you are exactly and forever as you were in the moment of your creation. And that's who you are. That's who I am. That's who we are. All of the sonship, we are as God created us. So I hope that helped. Don't know for sure. The comments will let me know. Let's embrace the truth today if we possibly can, even for a moment. Have a moment of, maybe I'm not this. Maybe I'm so much more than this. And as you're doing that, please smile. Please breathe. Please like the video. And please pray for all minds, whether or not they know that they are as God created them, and whether or not they know they are not truly bodies, but let God's love and peace come to each and every one of them as quickly as possible, and hopefully today. Namaste.